A new poll from the left-leaning firm Insider Advantage has Bolduc within 3 points of the lead. This one actually 0.5 of a point. New Hampshire Senate race tied. George Will's here, NewsNation senior contributor. I can't believe we're talking about New Hampshire.
Or cats and litters and litter boxes and people looking themselves. Look, can I give you a theory, Leland?
Please.
There was a time in America when if you wanted to say you're really sure of something, you'd say, I've seen it in black and white. What that meant was you'd seen black ink on white pages, you'd seen it in print. And the assumption was that if something got out there in the common discourse, it was because it had passed editorial supervision on the part of professional journalists and scrupulous editors. Now, anyone can get anything on the internet, anytime, day or night, no matter what they say. And as a result, the confidence that American people have in what they're seeing is disappeared. So people, when they see it anywhere, they say, well, there it is, maybe it's true. What
I think about
a world of editors.
Yeah, well, I think Scott Pelley of CBS said in a world of Twitter where everybody's a publisher, nobody's an editor, which in and of itself is a problem. But at the same time, there was this thought, I think, among certain Republicans that, look, there's going to be people who are nominated who are crazy, like Bolduc, but there's no chance they're going to be elected. And Democrats thought the same thing. Hey, look, the January 6th issues and true threats to democracy and abortion and on and on and on. How is it possible that 47% of people in New Hampshire say they're going to vote for this guy for senator? Is it simple anger at Joe Biden?
It's simple anger, and it's the disappearance, because of simple anger, of split-ticket voting. That is, people have lost the ability or the willingness to say, I'm for Party A at the top of the ticket, but Party B further down. One of the things we'll want to be watching on election night, Leland, is Kemp in Georgia, DeWine in Ohio. Two people are running for governor, and they're going to probably coast to victories. How much will they pull up the Senate candidates beneath them? Because people are so reluctant to split their tickets, to have independent judgment about different candidates.
To be fair, and we may be seeing this on a broader spectrum, right? We see this with Fetterman as well. This idea that a man who you and I talked about, God bless him for trying and the courage to get up on that debate stage, but didn't sound like any U.S. senator running for office I've ever seen. Although Dianne Feinstein hasn't had a debate in a long time. That said. How much of this just speaks to tribalism, not even party, ticket splitting, but just sort of people just say, look, I'm more interested in who controls the Senate than who my senator is.
Exactly. But Leland, that is tribalism translated into the voting booth, where people said, I'm with the blue shirts or the red shirts, and that's all I need to know. That's why, Leland, we are living in this post-access Hollywood tape. A lot of us, I don't know where you felt, I know I felt that when that came out in late October 2016, I said, well, that's the end of Trump. Didn't have any effect, so far as I can tell.
Boy, you and
I living in a different world.
Yeah, no kidding, a different world. You and I never got to talk when we were at another network, but I feel as though sort of every election cycle, the old rules by which all of us either agree on or apply to activities don't exist anymore in a new way than they didn't in the previous election. Whenever you change your standards, it just gets worse.
I think that's right. And I think the question for the future of American politics in the next 3 or 4 years is, do people get tired of this? Do people think, I'd like to go back and start making independent judgments about candidates. I think there's a self-correcting mechanism in this. Perhaps I'm being Pollyannish about this, but I think it's going to happen.
Well, your optimism is infectious and admirable. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.